The emergency alert appeared on my television at exactly 2:17 a.m. I remember the time clearly because I had just checked my phone. Couldn't sleep that night. The apartment was too quiet, and sometimes silence makes your mind wander into strange places. So I was lying on the couch watching late-night reruns, half awake, half drifting towards sleep. Then the TV screen suddenly went black. At first I thought the power had gone out, but a second later, a loud tone blasted from the speakers. That sharp, mechanical sound that every phone and television uses for emergency alerts. It was so loud that I actually jumped. Then the screen changed. White text appeared on a black background. Emergency broadcast system. The letters flickered slightly, like an old signal struggling to stay stable. Underneath the heading, a message slowly began to type itself across the screen. Not scroll, not appear all at once. It typed, letter by letter, which somehow made it feel even more unsettling. The message read, "This is an emergency alert for your area." I sat up on the couch. Living in the city, emergency alerts usually meant weather warnings or something about road closures. But there wasn't a storm outside. The sky had been completely clear earlier that evening. More text appeared. Please remain calm and follow these instructions carefully. My stomach tightened slightly. Something about the wording felt strange. Too formal. Too slow. Then the next line appeared. And that was the moment everything changed. Do not look outside. I blinked. For a second I thought I had read it wrong. But the words stayed there on the screen. Do not look outside. A few seconds passed. Then the message continued. Lock all doors and windows immediately. Turn off all exterior lights. Do not respond to any voices you may hear. My heart started beating faster. Voices? What voices? The final line appeared, and it made the room suddenly feel colder. This alert will remain in effect until further notice. Then the screen went black. The TV returned to the late-night show as if nothing had happened. For several seconds, I just sat there staring at the screen. My first thought was that it had to be some kind of mistake. Maybe someone hacked the broadcast system. Maybe it was a weird test message. But something about it didn't feel like a prank. The way the message had appeared. The slow typing, the strange instructions, and most of all, the warning not to look outside. I stood up and walked toward the window, just to check. Not because I believed the alert, just because curiosity is a powerful thing. But when I reached the window, I stopped. The curtains were slightly open, and outside, the street was completely empty, which wasn't normal. Even at 2 in the morning, there were usually cars passing occasionally. Sometimes people walking home from the bars down the block. But tonight, nothing. The streetlights flickered softly over an empty road. No cars, no people, no movement. I suddenly remembered the message. Do not look outside. A strange uneasiness settled in my chest. So I closed the curtains. Then I checked the door locks. The front door was already locked, but I turned the deadbolt anyway just to be sure. After that, I went around the apartment checking the windows. There were 3 of them. Kitchen, bedroom, living room, all locked. When I finished, the apartment felt quieter than before. Too quiet, like the entire building was holding its breath. I checked my phone. No alerts. No notifications, nothing, which was strange, because normally emergency alerts also appear on phones, but mine was completely silent. Then I heard something outside. Footsteps, slow footsteps moving along the sidewalk. I froze. Someone was walking outside my building. I told myself it was probably just a late-night pedestrian who hadn't seen the alert, but the footsteps sounded wrong. Too slow, too steady. Step, step, step. They stopped directly outside my apartment window. My stomach tightened. The curtains were closed, but I suddenly felt very aware of the fact that someone might be standing only a few feet away from the glass. Then something happened that made my blood run cold. A voice spoke from outside, quiet, almost whispering. "Hello." I didn't move. The voice spoke again. "Can you open the door?" My heart started pounding. The emergency alert flashed in my mind. "Do not respond to any voices you may hear." The voice outside sounded normal, completely normal, like a person asking for help. "Please," the voice said softly. "I think something is wrong." I took a step toward the door. Then I stopped myself. Something about the voice felt off, not in the sound, but in the timing. Spoke slowly, like someone who wasn't used to speaking. Then the voice said something that made the hairs on my neck stand up. Said my name. "Daniel, can you open the door?" My entire body went cold. There was no way a random person outside could know my name. I hadn't told anyone where I lived except a few friends. The voice spoke again, still calm, still quiet. "Daniel, we can see you." My breathing became shallow. "See me?" The curtains were closed. The lights inside were dim. How could anyone see me? Then something tapped against the window. Tap, tap, tap. Slow, gentle, like someone politely asking to be let inside. I forced myself not to move. The tapping continued for a few seconds. Then it stopped. Silence returned to the street. I stood there for nearly a full minute before slowly stepping away from the window. My mind was racing now. Something was definitely wrong. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't a random person outside. And the emergency alert suddenly felt very real. I turned off the TV and all the lights in the apartment. If someone really was outside watching the windows, I didn't want them to see me moving around. The room fell into darkness. Only the faint glow of the streetlights leaked through the edges of the curtains. Then my phone vibrated. I nearly dropped it. A notification appeared on the screen. Unknown number. A message. Just one sentence. "They are not human." My hands started shaking. Before I could reply, another message appeared. "Do not look outside." I typed back quickly. "Who is this?" The typing indicator appeared. Then another message arrived. "How many voices have you heard?" I stared at the screen. Voices? Plural? Before I could answer, a new sound came from outside. More footsteps, but this time, there were several of them, moving slowly along the street. Then another voice spoke. This one sounded like a woman. "Daniel." Then another. "Daniel." Then another. All saying the same thing, calling my name. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. There were at least 4 or 5 voices now. Maybe more. All outside. All whispering. "Daniel. Daniel. Daniel." The voices moved closer to the building. Then something hit the front door downstairs. A loud thud echoed through the hallway. Another thud followed. Then another. They were trying to get inside. My phone vibrated again. Another message from the unknown number. "Do not let them see you." The footsteps outside the window stopped again. Then the tapping returned. This time louder. Tap, 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 tap. It sounded like multiple hands against the glass. My entire body felt frozen. The whispers outside grew louder, more desperate. "Daniel, let us in. Daniel, open the door." Then something scratched against the window. Slow, deliberate, like nails dragging across the glass. I clenched my eyes shut. The emergency alert message replayed in my head. "Do not look outside." But curiosity can be stronger than fear. And eventually, I made a mistake. I moved slowly toward the window. Just one step, then another. The whispering outside grew excited, like they knew I was getting closer. My hand reached the curtain. I hesitated, just for a second. Then I pulled the curtain open slightly and looked outside. What I saw standing on the street below wasn't human. They looked almost like people. Almost. Their bodies were shaped like humans. Their clothes looked normal. But their faces were wrong. Their eyes were too wide. Their mouths stretched into unnatural smiles. And every single one of them was staring directly at my window. The moment they saw me looking down, their smiles widened, and all of them spoke at the same time. "Daniel found us." I slammed the curtain shut. My heart was pounding violently now. My phone vibrated again. A new message appeared. "You looked outside, didn't you?" I typed back with shaking hands. "What are they?" The reply came almost instantly. "They copy people." Another message followed. "But they can only enter if you respond to them." The whispering outside suddenly stopped. Complete silence filled the street. Then a new sound came from inside my apartment. A slow knock from the bedroom door. Knock, knock, knock. My blood turned cold because I live alone. And the message on my phone appeared again. "You weren't supposed to look outside." Then the bedroom door handle began to turn slowly, and a familiar voice spoke from the other side. My own voice. "Daniel, let me in." If you like scary stories like this, subscribe to Midnight Story Room and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. Also tell me in the comments, what was the scariest moment in this story for you? I read every comment, and sometimes your ideas inspire the next story.